Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today we're talking about the news that has recently come out that Andy Serkis is in talks to possibly direct Venom 2. Now, for those that don't know, my opinions of Venom are that it had some moments to it. I like Tom Hardy. I didn't really buy him in that role specifically as being a newspaper person just because he's so freaking jacked. I just don't buy that. It could very well be how he was portrayed in the comics, but just as a person watching the films without having any knowledge of the comics, for the most part, I saw that and said, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Now, Tom Hardy, of course, I thought put the most of what he could into that role, and the CGI for the most part held up in certain scenes and didn't hold up in other scenes, and overall I gave it was like a C-range film for me. It was entertaining to a point, not a film that I think people had to necessarily go see. But I will say this much, having a name like Andy Serkis attached to Venom 2, whether or not he's going to direct it or not, I think is a good way to try and get some people back on board, because if there's anything that Andy Serkis understands, it's how to do really awesome looking CGI and, most importantly, motion capture. For those that maybe don't know who Andy Serkis is, if you've been living under a rock, he is the person that made famous Gollum in The Lord of the Rings. He was the one that did the voice capture work for it. In more recent times, he was a part of the Caesar trilogy of Rise, Dawn, and War of the Planet of the Apes, where he was of course, the title name Caesar in those films, and he was freaking fantastic in it. And from those films and from all of his experience, he's been able to start his own production company. He's been able to start his own VFX company, and he's also actually been able to take some time actually directing certain films. His first directorial debut was actually a film in 2017, an independent film called Breathe. That was actually pretty damn cool. It was an interesting story about a man who eventually has to go into an iron lung, and it's like one of the first times someone is actually put in an iron lung that actually is going to try to survive and make himself mobile and not just have to stay in one location at a time. He wants to live life, and so he's able to capture in that movie just the emotions, the vast range of emotions of those characters, and really direct them pretty well for the most part. So it was a very good, strong, it wasn't necessarily the best film of all time, but it was a very strong directorial debut for Andy Serkis, and so I know he has the chops. I know that he's, of course, been under the greats like Peter Jackson, so he has an understanding of how to put something big on the screen. Now, of course, he has made a film since then called Mowgli, which premiered on Netflix back in 2018, back in the fall of I guess you could say the winter of 2018. And I have not really seen that film yet. It's gotten some mixed reviews overall, but I think most people could probably look at that film and say, you know what, the effects actually look kind of good for the most part. But if anytime you have a film that's going to be mostly CGI, if you have people like me watching it, I'm going to probably, crucify it and just go up and down about how awful it looks, because that's just what I do, because I like things to look as good as possible, and I don't want CGI being used unless it absolutely has to be. But having someone like this with the VFX experience that he has, having the ability and also having the experience of directing certain parts of the Hobbit trilogy. He was not involved in directing the Lord of the Rings, but actually, if you look to the Hobbit trilogy, when his role was done after the first film, he actually stayed on as being a second unit director. So some of those scenes that you saw on that movie, you actually saw that were directed by him, and that's of course what gave him that really on the hands experience that he was able to then use to actually start directing his own films. So for him to be in talks here, it's obvious that they're trying to go for the VFX. It's obvious that they're trying to go with someone who has a lot of knowledge of this, because they recognize that Venom was fun. Venom made a lot of money. And Venom was liked by a lot of people, and some people, especially DC, or rather, especially some hardcore Marvel fans who kind of want to have a Marvel alternative that isn't a part of the MCU, but is a part of this Sony Spider-Verse. Of course, it could create a lot of problems and a lot of chaos. Really want to see Tom Hardy come back in that role, and possibly even have some connections in some loose way, maybe to the MCU, but if not, in his own independent universe, do some kick-ass and some badass stuff. And I think Andy Serkis is definitely one of those best persons for this job, because of the fact he has that rich experience, but also because he seems like a man that's passionate about trying to get the best work out of people, and also trying to push for people that do VFX and do motion capture to get a little bit more respect in Hollywood. And I think one of the ways that he can do that is by being named the director of a bigger franchise film like this and what Venom is now becoming, and that could definitely be a way to push it forward. Now, he hasn't been confirmed. There's been no confirmation about who's going to be directing Venom 2, but as you can see here from Games Radar, it says that he indeed confirms he's had meetings with Sony, and that means that they are at least looking in that direction before making Venom 2 official. So guys, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Do you want to see this man take over Venom 2? Do you want to even see a Venom 2? Let me know your thoughts about all these things in the comments below. Also, guys, please make sure you check out the description of this video, where you can find my links to Displate, which is a supporter of the channel, an affiliate link to the channel, where you can buy these awesome metallic looking posters and also get them for 15% off if you use my special code. But right now, if you buy them and use the code HAPPY, you can actually get a code, and you'll see at the very top of the website, it'll tell you what the code is for that week. They usually have sales going on almost every single week. You can actually get 20% off and also free shipping on all orders for the next couple of days So really think about using that site. It really does help out. It helps out the channel a lot. And also you can find posters for a lot of really badass films. I've got 3 more coming in right now. I don't have any of them near me right now to be able to grab, but you've seen them on previous videos that I've done. I have one for Alita Battle Angel and one with all the guns around John Wick's head. And I can't wait to hang those up when I get everything else set up in my room. And of course, the 3 that are coming in, I've got some classic films and also some of my all-time favorite films represented in that list. But guys, please let me know if you are interested in that. And also please use my affiliate link and also think about supporting the channel in that way, because I do get actually one of the largest cuts of any affiliate links. I get 25% of whatever you purchase, meaning that, and because they are a little bit more on the pricey side because they are metallic posters, but they're much better quality because of that. But I ended up getting almost $8 to $10 per order. So it actually really does help out the channel a lot. So if you're someone that wants to have a poster, maybe wants to have an awesome badass looking poster in your room and wants to be able to get one that's going to last for a while, Displate might be the way for you. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about all these things in the comments below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.